Dobry, Marcin.
I'm very colorful here. And Callum, where are you? Why you are in Poland and I'm in London?
We've swapped places this week. I'm in Poland, you're in London. And actually right now I'm gonna just stand up to show people I am in a movie theater.
Ooh, yeah, we've seen a tweet from your talk with the slide on the screen projector. It was massive. How was your talk, by the way? Was it good?
It went well. I'm happy with it.
So let's clarify it. You are in Krakow attending the DevConf conference, and
Yes.
I'm in London in Cogwork's office. So we totally switched the places. But yeah, we are here for umbraCoffee. It's good to be back. I'm after 2 weeks break, so I really missed it. It was very good. It was very good because I didn't have any access to Wi-Fi for most of the time, so I just left my phone in the room and enjoyed the turkey and all the things there. The weather was awesome. I have some fun. So yeah, I rested. I recharged my batteries, and I'm ready for the festival season and everything else right now because we have a lot of things happening in not only in our community but in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been busy as well for a couple of the last weeks. How was the USWE Fest last week?
Yeah, it was really good. It was an interesting event. Some really good talks. The dinner in the castle.
Yeah,
we had a massive
dinner in the pictures. Yeah,
incredible. Lots of drinking involved. Good.
Good one. And what are the next plans then? There's a Polish festival next week. Right?
Next week, and so I'm coming back here in a few days' time for Polish Fest, and then we've got DUUG Fest.
And we have the Danish festival today, right? It is happening. So I don't think that someone is joining us from Denmark, but if you are watching it even after the festival, don't hesitate and let us know how it went. I've seen some pictures and it looks really packed, and it's interesting to see that it's right now there, and we are missing it. But yeah, the next week is a Polish festival, and a couple weeks from there we have a UK festival. You've mentioned the DUUG festival in between. So yeah, it's really packed up. Yes, tickets are still on sale for all of them. So for Polish festival, for UK festival, DUUG festival, I've seen that they are also closing the standard price tickets today. So yeah, people, if you're watching it who are still considering attending any of the festivals, don't wait for the last second, right? Just make organizer sleep better and buy tickets ahead in time. Cool, but it was also a good week in the Umbraco community. I need to add my screen here because I have some information about what happened. I don't know if we won't have weird. Yeah, we will have. But we had a project update from Umbraco. Callum, just let me know if you can see my screen correctly. And only my screen.
Yes.
So cool. We had a product update from Rune from HQ, and of course we had new releases, 8.1.5, and some forms upgrades related to that. And what satisfied me the most probably what was the documentation updates, and some of them which were highlighted on Twitter and other channels. I don't know if you've seen some of those updates, but they looks really complete, I would say, right?
This is implementing the new style guide and this new process they've got that automates a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so documentation is getting better and better. I've seen also the caching documentation. I don't know if I have it open somewhere on my tabs, but yeah, that was a great example. Also how to use cache with Umbraco calls. It was based on the tag service, if I remember correctly, and yeah, it was very great to see that. Once again, Umbraco put a lot of effort to make the knowledge shared correctly and straight from the HQ, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we're talking about HQ and being straight from HQ, we can talk about Stefan, who left HQ some time ago and continues the work around Models Builder and various other things. And one of those things is, what was the project code name of it?
Hang on. Bayumbe or something? And I'm not really sure what I don't know I can't really pronounce the name, but
I have it here. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, but so Stefan has. It's been a pretty big week this week. .NET Core 3.0 for anyone that doesn't follow the .NET community. .NET Core 3.0 actually launched on Tuesday this week, and on Tuesday, about an hour after the launch, Stefan released this blog post saying, "Hey, My blog runs on .NET Core and Umbraco now, and it's like, what? Whoa! And he built this wrapper, this Bayumbe or whatever he's calling it,
yes.
which sits. It's just all of the APIs needed to serve content from cache, basically. So it's the CMS core library. It's all of the pipeline, all of the services, and I mean, he says it's like a bit shaky, but he's got it working. And then the back office still runs .NET Framework, and you kind of have a separate application somewhere else to publish content, and it reads the same cache files, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I wouldn't even imagine that it will came out so quickly. And and as we know, that Stefan was also involved in some .NET community works, and he was very active in terms of C# development and performance stuff. It's interesting that he combines this knowledge and just released something like that. That's awesome.
And because he built this on top of the release candidate 1 for .NET Core 3, which only came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So he's literally pulled this together in a couple of weeks. But that's really awesome work. I asked on Twitter if it's going to be open sourced or collaborative, and he said yes, but it's not ready right now. So at some point in the future, we'll get there, and we'll have a really nice, potential community project to work on .NET Core 3. And I think it's as well, it's exciting because it's perhaps a different route that HQ are going to take. They're going to start porting everything over, whereas Stefan has effectively, I believe, rewritten some of the libraries and the APIs to use .NET Core.
Yeah, I was catching up all the information which I sometimes missed during my holidays, and I've seen that Stefan described well what motivated him to step outside of HQ. And I think, as you've said, that's a great motivation, great result of those steps. And we are all looking for it, and I'm more than sure that those steps and those actions will help HQ and the product and Umbraco to also see the other picture and take the other steps and approaches to maybe accomplish something quicker, different, or better, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So about other releases, did you have anything highlighted from your side? Because we've gathered some of the things which been released, and for example, Anders. That's why I'm asking, because you've been busy, and you've released the examine config package. Can you tell us more about it? And why you've released it?
So on Wednesday, when I was flying here, I was talking to Ismail on Twitter. He was asking, how do I configure this index, this external examine index to do some things? And I said, well, actually, you can't. And I was looking at the Umbraco source from my phone to work this out, because I was looking. I went, you can't. That's really odd. And then I realized that, okay, the only way to do this is with code. So we can use dependency injection to swap out the examine config, use this instead. And so I've basically wrapped all of that up in a package where you can use the web config to define some of these settings, which is really nice. And I hope that I want to do a bit more with it. So some of these hard to reach settings in Umbraco, like creating custom indexes, could also be done this way. So it's a really tiny package now, a little idea that I've had for a while to make some of these things configurable, and just gonna.
But also a great idea to show how to use the dependency injection to extend existing functionality. Basically, that's for what we were all looking forward into the V8 in general. That it will be extensionable. I don't know if this word exists. Extendable. Yes, extendable.
When you look at the code, in actual fact, it's implementing 3 methods that exist in Umbraco. Then the rest is configuration code. Like I've not actually gone and written loads of fancy code. I knocked it together on a plane quickly. So it's just pulling code from values from config and methods that I've overridden in Umbraco. So.
That's also why I think that it's a great example, because everyone who thinks about extending Umbraco in any other way, or classes which are existing there, can just take a look and see how simple in the result it is, and just adjust it for their own purposes and just do it on their own.
Yeah.
Good. So well done, great work. And other elements which we highlighted is some of the packages being released this week. So Skybrat redirects and first stable release. If none of the previous ones were stable enough, I would say.
Yeah, it's worked for a while, hasn't it?
yeah. I've been using it from the first alpha release probably. So it's the first stable release of Skybrat Umbraco redirects for Umbraco 8, which is awesome to have. Then Lars Erik released some new prototype, which is a Umbraco PowerShell host prototype. And I was too afraid to check it in full depth yet. But did you check how it works and what's the?
He released this last week and actually sent me the link.
Yes, that's
so I had a look at his GitHub, and he's tried 3 different ways of actually achieving this.
Okay.
So there's 3 branches, like PowerShell host attempt 1, attempt 2, attempt 3. I'm not sure which version he's demoing here, but I think it's a bit of fun. He was doing some stuff with the for a project where he wanted to be able to run some command line. It looks kind of. I've not
still something like an extension point for Umbraco and for power users who are more console, or in this case PowerShell oriented, right?
Yeah. So it's the actual base of it is based around the Umbraco console project.
Yeah.
That I think Morton had one and someone else had one too. So it's based around that. This is just a PowerShell wrapper for effectively stuff that lives in a C# console app, which is.
And what's the name of the project done by Aaron Powell?
Chauffeur.
Yeah, Chauffeur. Yeah, something. So it was heavily used for any continuous integration and continuous deployments purposes, and I think that's it's here at another approach to do that, because on DevOps, for example, or any continuous integration tools, we can safely use a lot of PowerShell scripts there, and if it will be all possible, we can automate it and make it more efficient for all of the processes. I'm really curious to dive into more it, and I will ping Lars for more details soon.
I believe it's for V6 and 7. It's for VA, right? But it should not be that much work to get it to.
Still the same APIs and then wrapper and context, hopefully. The next one is a page not found manager by Nick. Once again, one more update to be compatible with Umbraco v8.1 this time.
Tim Geison's packages, wasn't it?
Yes, if I remember correctly, yes. And here we can also see another great contribution of 2 great guys from our community. So Matthew also helped Nick in getting it done, and it's on Nugget and Hour this time. So we'll feel free to check it. And also, I've seen Anthony released some update for his ubase repository, which is a base for the Umbraco project's structure and stuff like that. And some new things which were released here, something like taxonomies and tagging, and also repositories inside of the content trees. So for anyone who is looking for some pointers or practices which are used by other developers and companies, feel free to check Anthony's work. And they've released version 2 of Redirects Viewer Package, so one more addition to Redirects. And once again, collaboration between 2 community members.
I think he's saying here that Ismail did everything. He's just released.
But that's why we also sending a big high five for Ismail. And he also was a motivator to your package and your contribution to Umbraco community this week. So big kudos to Ismail. And the last one is a kind of contribution request. And I've seen, Callum, you've promised something for Kevin.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to maintain this promise.
Yes, I do. I've started working on it.
Ooh, that's awesome.
The plan here is that I've got this Golden Gate package.
Yes, I've seen what you.
And I'm gonna put a nested an archetype to nested content converter in. But actually, it's similar. I've got some challenges that I need to sort out, which is I also had a prototype working of Vorto to variants, but I changed my API, and I now means it's not really possible. So it's an excuse to get both of them working.
But yeah, those numbers being there on the package downloads are extremely high, and it means that a lot of people will benefit from it, definitely, if they will, of course, install the package and I don't know, discover that there is something what can help them solving those problems quicker and easier.
For sure.
That's awesome. Keep us updated, of course, and we will be highlighting all of the progress on this work for the next coffees. And outside of the releases, we've seen some new blog posts. And oh, Nick is asking question. Callum, when is Mega enough for V8 is coming?
So I have a working version, and I'm gonna probably put it on the MyGet feed because it's very alpha. But yeah, we have a version that's just a direct port.
Nice. So yeah, coming back to other topics, it was something about new blog posts and videos, and once again, our community members and representatives in the persona of Paul Seal released a great tutorial how to manage the permissions around content apps.
This is a really interesting approach. Really interesting.
Very interesting approach. Yes, that's correct. But
he built his own filtering mechanism on top of the existing filtering.
Yes, that's what I was also surprised about. But I've seen that a lot of people were looking for finding a workaround for those permissions because they were not so clear to understand from the very beginning. But here, the result is awesome, right? You can do just a simple filtering around the content apps restrictions, and it's nice to see that Paul was doing a lot of work around content apps itself. Started to send the application for the competition the last year in the Code Garden, and right now it evolves, and then step by step is getting to the point where any new content app creator can just start and do the work complete from the beginning to the end. So great work, Paul, right? And we've seen
really inventive solution, I think, here.
Yeah, that's great. And also, I've seen a nice blog post about Umbraco in general by Carbon 6 Digital, and we've seen that it was mentioning the festivals as well as a way of contributing to the project, and it was great to see so many ways gathered together why Umbraco is different than other CMSs and solutions. And it's always worth to mention let's say pros and hopefully not cons about using Umbraco for everyone who is considering Umbraco as a potential CMS to use.
I had a question this week with Paul, in fact, about specifically this. They have a client who doesn't believe they want to put some stuff on Umbraco, and apparently they didn't believe that it would be possible to run the two side by side. And I gave some examples, and Paul kind of explained to them that no, Umbraco is still a good solution for you. So I guess that might be where this comes
from. Yeah, as I said, it's always worth to mention and compare and share some thoughts from people who are doing it and using it, and that's hopefully help more projects being done on top of Umbraco, and us be sharing more interesting approaches in coffees and not only. And the last blog post which we want to highlight is a PR Team Chronicles. I have it somewhere here. Once again, a lot of numbers and information straight from the pull request process and team. I've seen Purnima, who was mentioning a lot of details from becoming a zero contribution person to one of the top contributors thanks to the pull request and activity around pull request teams as well. And it's awesome to see this growth. I was not aware that it's still growing because maybe it's not always so visible, right? It's not always so vocal or easy to be found, but the contributions are still happening, and it's great to see this progression, right?
Yeah,
7, and a lot of those were highlighted during this previous blog post about this new release, right? Because it's great to see that even when Umbraco is releasing new version, it's always crediting and highlighting contributors who helped them release this version with some fixes. That's one more thing which is maybe encouraging for people to start contribution with Umbraco. Hopefully, yes. And if we are talking about it, it's something what we can definitely jump on. And I mean Hacktoberfest. Callum, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
But Umbraco is also preparing, right? And it's a great kickoff on Umbraco HQ or in Umbraco DK Meetup. I don't know if it's happening in HQ. It is in HQ, yes. So on the 1st October, official kickoff with Shannon Dominik and all the rest of HQ members in the Umbraco HQ to start Hacktoberfest, which is for all of the people who don't know, is a yearly initiative in which the goal is to contribute to new or existing open source projects during the month of October. Do you want to add anything else to that? Did you participate in the previous years? You did, right?
T-shirt, right? 5 contributions.
Yes, 5 contributions. You can log in here by clicking Start Hacking. It registers you using your GitHub account and then tracks your activity. And Umbraco, Rasmus, it was highlighted that some of the contributions from the yesterday's DK hackathon were already counted in as a Hacktoberfest contributions for Umbraco, and Umbraco has its own label on GitHub. So it's great to see that Umbraco is also tracking all of the contributions which are happening during this month, and hopefully we'll see more people, not only from our community, doing contributions to Umbraco because of Hacktoberfest. Thanks to Hacktoberfest.
Hacktoberfest last year was mega for the documentation and the itself, wasn't it? Like really, really big, hundreds of contributions. So yeah.
I don't know how it works, but it always motivates me to do more during this month. Even if it's not the easiest part of the year or not the most free. But still, it's something like, if I won't do it this month, I probably will be still postponing it till the next year. Yeah. So hopefully a lot of people think same, and we will see a lot of great contributions during this month. Your mega enough package for V8 and more things, right? Yeah. We're also working on something new, which will hopefully be released maybe during this month. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We'll see. Cool. So that's all from our list. I don't know if there is anything else what we could possibly miss. I don't know.
I think that's everything.
It looks very scary in this dark background.
Yeah. Sorry.
Cool. So yeah, that's all. I'm really curious how's the DK festival going, because the agenda there was also very interesting and very different from other festivals, which is something cool. And yeah, we're all counting down to the next possible meetings, and we will exchange our locations. I'm coming back to Poland today. You're coming back to England.
Yep.
And yeah, cool. That's probably it, right? No more questions, no more discussions.
Oh, no, there are 2 things that we've forgotten.
2 things.
First thing is, I didn't have it on umbraCoffee last week, but I've just seen Arik pop up in the chat, and Arik has released a Elasticsearch provider for Examine on V8, and as of Tuesday, with Umbraco 8.1.5 out, that actually works now. So high five, you rock to Arik for that. And
Arik knows that we will have him sooner or later sharing more about this provider, hopefully. For sure. And yeah, big high five you rock for this work, because it looks and works awesome right now. I've tested it as well.
And the other thing we got was meetups.
Yes, meetups. I've seen the Edinburgh meetup. Great photos and great talks yesterday. And there was a Thames Valley.
Thames Valley meetup. The first Thames Valley meetup was, the first in a very long time. John Cito has rebooted it, and they had like 14 people turn up, and Nick and Pornima did talks, and it looked really awesome. I'm sad I couldn't make it, but I was in a bar.
But also Ilham mentioned something about new meetup in North Carolina, which will be happening, and so people from states who are possibly looking for more ways to share knowledge, to contribute, will have another new place to do that. So, and someone said that Belgium meetup will as well happen this week. So that's great.
Yeah.
We are all preparing for the bigger meetups soon, right? And we hope to see. By the way, Arik will be talking about Elasticsearch provider in Krakow next week. So for anyone who is interested in how it works, how it was built, that's the great opportunity. And other talks are upcoming, so we can safely say that we are all looking forward to the next opportunities to meet together and see what's going on in the Umbraco world. Indeed, right?
Exactly.
Cool, Callum. So enjoy the rest of your time in Krakow.
I will.
And
we'll see each other next week for Poland Fest and a live umbraCoffee.
Yes, exactly. Cool. So see you.
I was going to say as well, we've said this is the 95th episode,
Yes.
but actually, if you look on YouTube, last week was 100 videos because we've not counted the Code Garden specials.
Okay.
This.
So this is 100 video of umbraCoffee on YouTube.
Actually, last week was 100.
Ooh.
Oh,
But let's keep it up to numbers, and let's make official 100 when it's official 100 Fridays episode.
For sure.
At least we will have time to prepare something for that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Callum, and thanks everyone for being here with us. And have a great rest of the day and weekend.
Yep. See ya.
See ya. Bye.